a mixed range of emotions. So I was obviously very happy and excited because it was a new chapter in my life.
I want to be one of the pioneers in Malaysia to start a successful esports team.
Wow, pioneer in Malaysia.
Hi guys, I'm Jack Kam. Today I'm quite honored that I've invited two honorable guests to Jack Kam's channel, the first ever guests on my channel. So I really can't wait and really excited with the filming production with them. And if you want to find out more, stay tuned on that. Alright, so for those who are interested in the tertiary educations, especially overseas, countries like in the UK, I'm honored enough to invite two sharing guests for us to explore how they handle it, like lots of things when we need to travel overseas, like with the foreign university, and also accommodations, expenditure, the tuition fees, and food and beverages, even travels, transportations, and also entertainment. So there are many more aspects that we need to really consider it. So today that we can actually learn from the sharing guests, so that we can understand how they manage it and how they overcome the difficulties along the journey, so that we can have a clearer picture on their journey, and perhaps we can learn a lot of it. So for those students who have the interest to the studies in UK, and especially for parents who want to send their children to overseas, and what are things that they need to prepare in terms of documentations and like the supporting documents such as the visa, the offer letter, the money that we need to bring along. So there are a lot of things to consider. So today, enough to invite them to Jack Kam's channel, and let's welcome Brandon and Pei Xian.
Okay, so they have experience studying in UK, and today they will share with us on their study experience and also travel experience, like the necessary things that we need to know before we travel, and how they along the journey. I believe they have a lot of obstacles that they can share with us, so that we can learn more from them. What is your age?
I am 21 this year.
And I'm 22.
So you can start out with, both of you can do a self-introduction.
Hi, I'm Brandon, 22 years old, and I'm a recent graduate from UCL studying mechanical engineering, and I graduated with BEng.
I'm Pei Xian. Very nice to meet everyone. I'm 21 this year. I recently finished my studies studying at King's College London, studied business management, and very excited to be here today.
All right, that's great. What is your secondary and also university's names right now?
For secondary school, I studied at Help International School. I did my IGCSEs there as well as A-levels. And for my university, I studied at King's College London.
And for me, I studied also at Help International for secondary, and I studied in Sunway College for A-levels, and I'm just graduated from UCL.
Both are very reputable universities in Malaysia, and definitely the overseas one as well. So can you share more with us with your ambition versus when you were little and now? I believe definitely a big difference.
I think mine was very different. So when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian, so looking after animals. But now I'm looking into being a consultant focused on tech.
I see. So being a veterinarian, do you have somehow any further plans on this, on your previous when you were a child's ambition? Or you might just completely give up on that?
I do have a pet cat, so I do take care of animals, but just mainly on my own cat. I do have an Instagram for my pet cat, so caring for animals in a different way.
I'm one of the big fans of the Tofu Diaries as well. So you guys, if you're interested, can go and follow them. Follow the Instagram. I'll leave the links in the description box down below.
I think last time I wanted to do was because I watched a lot of YouTube last time. I wanted to become like a YouTuber, a gaming YouTuber. Like I don't know how to say it. I don't think a lot of people would know, but yeah, I wanted to be one of those gamers. But now I think, as I grew older, I don't really want to be there, but I just wanted to start off. I want to be one of the pioneers in Malaysia to start a successful esports team.
Wow, pioneer in Malaysia. So we can't wait to witness your success in it. Could you explain more about the esports team?
Esports is more of like strategy. No, I can't even say team games, but it's like a lot of the competitive video games that you see, like Dota 2 or Counter-Strike, Valorant. Those kind of games are like what we consider esports, where people can actively compete in them and win cash prizes or some sort of prizes. But yeah, and esports I think it's a growing industry because more and more people. I mean, a lot of bigger companies are starting to sponsor these competitions, and esports is now being it's much easier to monetize esports now.
Yes. Agree that I see a lot of advertisements and a lot of companies, they are willing to pay 100,000 or could be million ringgit to sponsor that game and to have a really grand award in it. So I believe this is our future trends. As you guys know that also Pei Xian also runs a very successful TikTok channel for her pet, Food Diaries. You can check it out again in this link. Okay. So I believe these are all the future trends that we can have in our today's era. In the futures, I believe like TikToks, esports, and many different digital industry, they will grow a lot by leaps and bounds. Both of you, your first language are in English, right? Yeah. So is that the main reason to go to study in UK?
I think there are many reasons why we wanted to study in the UK. Firstly, just the reputation of the unis and the different opportunities that we would get abroad instead of just staying in Malaysia. But being able to speak English as our first language definitely does help, because it is part of the requirements later on, which we'll probably share as well, about being able to get into the UK to study at university there.
Yeah, same goes for me. Like English is I didn't really think that I want to go to UK or want to apply to US or Australia just because I can speak English, but it's because of the reputation over there, and I feel that like education there is much more mature there.
Could you share more with us on the course that you've taken there?
Yeah.
Yep. So I studied BSc Business Management. So
Whoa.
I study a range of modules depending on my interest. So I studied things such as accounting, economics, marketing, and also into consulting. And from there, I found my interest in the ambition that I shared earlier about tech consulting.
Yeah, and I actually applied for MEng, which is some integrated masters for mechanical engineering, but I dropped down to BEng because I sort of fell into another passion for programming. And yeah, within my course, I learned a lot about thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, material science, design as well. Design wasn't that big of a factor in UCL, but also I had the opportunity to choose a minor, and I chose programming for data science, which I learned how to code with Python and then create web apps with Python also.
As you guys know that both of them are really sweet couples, so I did know Pei Xian did share with me like how you guys hang around in the uni. Both of your unis are about 30 minutes away, right, from each other.
So
it's even closer than that.
But 30-minute, no, maybe like a 20-minute walk.
I see. So what a blessing or faithful, to have the couples close together. Besides that, you also do like workout together, right? About 3 to 4 times a week to maintain a really good lifestyle. So I can share that they are actually practicing a very good lifestyle. They can study together and also work out together, as for us to not only move on in life, you also have a well-balanced lifestyle. Definitely we can imagine, as Malaysians to studies overseas, to have different culture shocks, and also the standards of educations are definitely very different. So I believe they have managed to crop a lot of stress in it, and they still manage to have a work-life balance, study-life balance. Is that the word? Yeah, study-life balance, and then they are able to manage it very well. So leaving Malaysia to other countries for travel purpose, we might know it's not like traveling is like 1 to 2 weeks we can come back. But for travel, it's about 1 year, 2 years of time, so may not come back as regular. So just share with us the exact moment when you guys were about to leave your family in the airport?
For me, I can vividly remember the time that I left my family in the airport. The first time that I went was I believe, in August or July 2019. I felt very a mixed range of emotions. So I was obviously very happy and excited because it was a new chapter in my life, and I was very excited to study something that I was very interested in. But obviously, I was feeling some anxiety as well as feelings of sadness because I would have to leave home, I would have to leave my family. But all in all, I think it was just a mixed emotions and feeling overwhelmed, of course, as well.
I'm kind of like same, but I felt more free. In a way, but I wasn't like in a sense that like oh so free from my parents. I just felt like I could start my own life. I could start I could start like doing things that possibly maybe over here I can't do because like over there but I basically you can socialize with a lot of friends and but at the same time also I felt very sad that I was leaving my family and yeah I was at the time that they left me I was sad but afterwards we got with it pretty quickly.
Yes, it is hard, for us to like leave our families and leave our comfortable home. You really have to break through, have a great breakthrough to have a courage to studies overseas as well. It's not easy for that. That's a really great sharing. It's not easy for us to really leave our family and travels overseas and take the flights are about hours and hours, right? How many hours from Malaysia? 13 hours. It's not easy. It's a good experience for us, like, or what Pei Xian said is our new chapter in life, to be there. All right. So we'd like to know more about how do you find accommodations, or if you have any reliable resources for us so that can recommend to our audience so that if they have interest to travel overseas for studies, they might refer to the guidance that you provide.
Yeah, I think that's a very important question that requires a lot of pre-planning before you go there. Because obviously when you're in London, you need a place to stay. But I think we can break it down into two different types of accommodation. So firstly, there's student accommodation, where students usually stay at student accommodation during their first year. And usually you can find information on student housing on your uni's website. So for me, I have the King's accommodation website, and I think the same goes for UCL too. But after our first year, we usually move out to private accommodation. So we stay in, for example, a flat or an apartment by yourself or with one or two other friends. And for private accommodation, we do find information and we recommend websites such as Zoopla, where you can just even narrow down your search to your area, your budget, and then you can just find and filter out what kind of flats or apartments you want to stay at.
Yeah, and it's also helpful if you can get like advice from possibly like let's say for us we have Malaysian societies. You can possibly message them on Instagram to ask them like where they should stay, which student accommodations to stay, or if you're not staying in student accommodation, which areas you should stay, or like find houses. But if you don't have those Malaysian societies in your uni, then the best you can do is just word of mouth really. That's also another very good way to find what accommodation is best for you.
We have our accommodation check. And another thing is that when you have just first enter your own universities, so how do you find the environment and the lectures, the facilities, and your classmates?
I felt that the environment was amazing because I think within UCL it's not a very competitive environment. They don't really foster that toxic environment, very easygoing environment. I think it's the same for Kings. It's pretty easygoing and people there are pretty friendly. If you need help also you can ask for help. And my classmates are very nice people. I mean, just for engineering in general. Engineering has a very I help you, you help me attitude because a lot of our things are like maths and it's not a lot of writing, so that helps. And also, but the lectures in UCL for mechanical engineering, it's a really hit or miss. like I've only started liking my lecturers this year. I've only had one or two lecturers that I like in my first year. Second year, all my lecturers I didn't much like, and then my third year, I've liked quite a few. Like surprisingly, I like quite a few, but that's because they're very passionate at what they're doing. So, yeah, it's really a hit or miss, even in like Kings, I
I
think.
think for me, I remember my first impression. We have this like this first week induction week called Welcome Week at King's. So I remember everyone was very welcoming, very friendly, and obviously going into London, it's such a diverse city, and everyone who goes to King's is coming from places all around the world. So it's very nice to be able to meet other people from other cultures and also learn from them. I think lectures over the years have been the same as Brandon, so very varied. I think with COVID, we moved from live in-person lectures into online too. So I think we both found that it was much harder to study online. So we did have that impression over the years. But I think first impression definitely was amazing.
You guys were lucky enough to travel before the MCO period, right, where all the COVID starts. So learning everything through online is a brand new experience to us. Like we are conducting via online. So again, I believe that this is our future trends to do a lot of amazing stuff via online. But sometimes we still prefer like a physical classroom or physical a lecture so that we can really immerse ourselves into that learning environment. So we do know that lecturers playing very important roles in especially delivering the courses. So it is hard, I would say, to find like a suitable or good lecturers that really are suitable for us to learn. We cannot blame, but we have to adapt it and also find ways to do it. So I believe both of you are doing really well on this. So living in the London, time for us to show us a little bit of your British accent. British accent is one of my desired and inspired accent as well. So I'm on the way to learn, But both of you had the opportunity to study overseas, especially to immerse yourself into a different accents, the British accent. So today we are glad that to have Brandon to show us to imitate the authentic British accent.
Oh, yeah, this is not gonna be authentic. Um, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's cold in it. Yeah, it's hot in it. Yeah, yeah. That's sort of that's how they sort of thought. But yeah, it's like even in London, there's so many different like accents. There's like the really posh ones, and then there's the really like grimy ones as well. The grimy is like the kind of like very not gangsters. I can guess it's like about like a bit like yeah, as information is like kind of like repeat kind of like the way people talk. I was like, yeah, in it. Yeah, yeah. That's pink, bro. That's just pink, bro. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But it's very funny when they talk about it like that.
There's one typical word in British accent. In US, we usually say schedule. In the UK accent, it sounds like schedule. Like, what's your schedule like tomorrow? So it's really interesting for us to really learn that. Okay. So we have discussed about your accommodation, the environment in your new city. So how do you get to know your first friend? So do they approach you or you approach them?
For me, it was actually quite funny. So we had a course, so like for my degree, we had an induction session at one of the main lecture halls in our campus, and I met with this group of girls just right outside the lecture hall, and we all just kind of stood there, looked at each other, and then we just started talking. So it wasn't someone that approached, it was just kind of, it just happened. And to this day, we still keep in touch. And I just recently met up with them out for dinner and for drinks. So it was really nice it was a very nice and organic way for me to make my first friend group in the UK.
Yeah, and I'm not very sure how I met my first friend either. I think I met him like I think it's him. I'm not sure like who it is. But I think it's Malaysian also. But I think I just told him, hey, like I was like, what's up? I was like, are you from Malaysia? Then he's like, yeah. Are you? I was like, yeah. And that's it. That's how we so became friends. But yeah.
Yes. So as we can see, there's a fine difference between boys and girls, how they make friends. Yeah, it's good, to know friends like internationally. So it's a very good experience, and I believe there are lots of valuable knowledge that we can acquire from them. So studying overseas, definitely you have learned a lot of things, like to be independent or diligent in your own studies, and also manage your own like luggage, your own expenses. A lot of things that we need to learn. It's way more different, and plus it's a different environment. It's like the overseas is not in the country that we are used to in it. So what are the things that you have learned there?
For me, I definitely learned a lot of things and then also improved a lot on myself. So the first thing that comes to mind is just learning how to be more independent. I think living at home, sometimes I take things for granted. For example, I no longer have someone to do my house chores, my laundry. I now have to cook for myself and for Brandon. I have to manage my own finances. So living independently was something that I learned. And then another thing was just stepping out of my comfort zone. So usually when I'm at home, I'm kind of comfortable. But then when I'm overseas, I try to say yes to more things like going out with friends, seeing new places, going sightseeing in the UK. And last thing definitely is being more diligent. That's in terms of my academics. So I think studying at university and also in high school is a very big difference. You don't have teachers constantly around you. You don't have friends that push you. Your teachers will kind of just give you your work. You have to do your own readings and be on top of all of your studies all by yourself. So I think learning how to be diligent and adapting to learning at university was something that I learned. And then also in my career pathway. So being able to develop my professional skills, networking, and then also finding a job, applications, things like that. So yeah, those are the three main things that I learned.
Same goes for me. Like I got to be more disciplined by like learning how to cooking also is one big thing for us. Like we learn a lot for cooking because over here we never really cook. We only cook like really simple thing like omelette or like that. But then in the UK, we both of us especially we love to experiment with a lot of new food, and we always cook together. We cook together. We don't. I sometimes cook for her also, not her. She just cook for me. But yeah, we experiment together, and we like cook kimchi pancake one time. It was very easy, and we cook like cheese baked rice, that kind of stuff. So it was very fun. And then I also learned how to manage my time. Even I feel that my time management here in Malaysia is pretty okay. But when I went there, it's much better because um, I was less strict with time, and I was a bit more like this happened, oh, and after it cannot happen, it cannot happen. So great that I can like manage my time even better in the UK and also be able to do more house chores and simple things, doing laundry, washing the house, and things like that, which is great.
A lot of skills that we tend to forget in Malaysia, like like doing the laundries and doing the house chores, and even to cook for each other, And that's so sweet and so nice and really thoughtful to go to the same environment, to have the same ambitions together, to have the workout together, to have the meal planning together. This is really, really awesome. How you guys know each other?
We actually knew of each other since 2014 because we were in the same high school.
Okay.
We were kind of just like acquaintances, and then we became friends, and then we started dating in 2017 when he left school.
Yeah.
To move to Sunway for A-level. So we knew of each other before we started dating.
We got close in like 4-5.
Yeah.
5 years is still counting down. Yeah. Whoa, well done. So hopefully we can in the future we can meet each other in person. How do you guys see yourself in the next 3 years? For those who are really interested to study in UK, so what are the necessary qualifications and also documents to prepare as a Malaysian to enter UK's universities?